What's good, hoop heads? Your courtside analyst Tips and Streams is back in the game. On the slate today, breakdowns for the latest NBA matchups set to light up the hardwood. Before we tip off, make sure you slam that subscribe button on our YouTube channel to stay in the loop with all our predictions and top picks. So, let's get started. The first today's prediction is for the matchup between the Detroit Pistons and Milwaukee Bucks. The Detroit Pistons are facing a tough run this season, with their scorecard showing a meager 223, landing them at the bottom of the Eastern Conference. They're missing the mark in several crucial areas. Their average points per game are at a low 108.1, placing them 28th in the league. Their rebounds per game are middling at 43.9, ranking 16th, and their assists per game are just about average at 25.7, putting them at 17th. On the defense, they're struggling too, with opponents racking up an average of 119.4 points per game against them, a statistic that sees them at 23rd in the league. In stark contrast, the Milwaukee Bucks are soaring high, asserting their dominance as one of the league's heavyweights. With a strong 17-7 record, they're comfortably perched at second in the Eastern Conference. Their offensive game is almost unrivaled, boasting an impressive 123. 3 points per game, the second highest in the league. They lag a bit in rebounds and assists, standing at 18th with 43.8 rebounds per game and 20th with 25.5 assists per game. Their defensive game is somewhat on par with the Pistons, with their opponents scoring an average of 119.5 points per game. The Pistons' track record in back-to-back games over the past 2 seasons also tells a story. Last season, out of 14 back-to-back games, they clinched only 3 victories. This season, they've already faced 5 back-to-backs and have come out on top just once. In comparison, the Bucks' squad depth and rest periods seem to give them an extra edge in this face-off. With these stats in hand, it's clear that the Milwaukee Bucks hold a significant upper hand in this matchup. Their offensive strength, coupled with a decent defense, positions them as the probable winners against the Pistons, who need a massive step up in their game to match the Bucks' prowess on both ends of the court. In summary, considering the current form and statistical analysis, the Milwaukee Bucks are the likely victors, but the point spread seems a bit much. My bet is on the total points going under the line. I'm wagering on the Detroit Pistons and Milwaukee Bucks to score under 240.5 in total. The next prediction is for the match between the Philadelphia 76ers and Charlotte Hornets. The 76ers are on fire, cruising on a 5-game hot streak and towering as the heavyweights in their upcoming clash with the Hornets, who are scrambling with a shaky 7-16 record. Philly's hoop supremacy shines in their numbers. They're 4th in lighting up the scoreboard with 122.4 points a game, 10th in locking down the defense by allowing only 112.2 points, and 6th in hustling for boards with 45.9 rebounds a game. Their charge is spearheaded by Joel Embiid, the top gunner averaging a whopping 33.8 points a game, while the team leads the league in point differential, sitting pretty at a plus 10.2 and swiping 9. 0 steals a game. Charlotte, despite their underwhelming season, is still putting up a scrap. They've been clutch in surpassing the 3Q game total over in 65 of their last 78 matchups, and have a decent track record in clinching the money line in 18 out of their last 41 showdowns. But their injury roster is a sore spot, with aces like LaMelo Ball and P.J. Washington on the sidelines, denting their gameplay. When it comes to head-to-head, last season saw the Sixers edging out the Hornets 2-1 with an even split in Charlotte's den. This suggests the Hornets have some bite at home, but their current form might not cut it. In the betting arena, Philly's stats are robust against the spread at 17-7 and even more formidable as 9-point favorites or higher, boasting a 5-1 record. The Hornets, on the flip side, are struggling with just 9 wins in 23 games against the spread and a mixed bag as 9.5-point underdogs or more, with 3 wins and 2 losses. For both squads, this showdown is a back-to-back play. The Sixers have had 3 back-to-backs this season with just 1 win, while the Hornets have faced 2 and lost both. It's worth noting that Philly often rests a star player in these back-to-back scenarios, which might throw off their offensive rhythm. Wrapping up, While the Hornets have the home court and some solid quarter performances up their sleeves, the 76ers, led by Embiid's scoring onslaught, look like the top dogs. But considering Charlotte's grit and Philly's potential weariness in a back-to-back game, the Hornets might just defy the odds and cover the plus 10-point spread. My money's on Charlotte to beat the plus 10-point spread. The next prediction is for the match between the Atlanta Hawks and Cleveland Cavaliers. The Atlanta Hawks, amidst a roller coaster season, are gearing up for a high-octane clash after their recent triumph over the Raptors, fueled by Trae Young's dynamite 38-point, 11-assist performance. They're scoring big, averaging 122.5 points per game, a solid third in the NBA, thanks to their sharp 46.7% field shooting and a formidable 37.3% from downtown. Yet their defense is leaking points, giving up 123.3 per game, which places them worryingly at 28th in the league. Meanwhile, the Cleveland Cavaliers, steered by Donovan Mitchell's 31-point prowess, are desperate to rebound from their setbacks, including a stumble against the Celtics. They're netting an average of 110.5 points, with a slightly sturdier defense than the Hawks, conceding 110.9 points. Their endgame, however, has been underwhelming, ranking low in the league for both fourth quarter and second half performances. Diving into their recent face-offs, the Cavs clinched a 128-105 victory in their last encounter. This historical edge, combined with their strong start game, might tip the scales in their favor in the upcoming showdown. Another key play: the Hawks are in the midst of back-to-back games, having won only half of their 4 doubleheaders this season. Weighing team dynamics, player stats, and past clashes, the scoreboard points to a Cleveland Cavaliers win. Their defensive edge, coupled with the Hawks' consecutive game fatigue and defensive gaps, suggests the Cavs will dictate the game's rhythm and notch a victory. So, the call is clear. Cleveland Cavaliers to win and beat the spread. Their defensive solidity, paired with the Hawks' defensive lapses and the strain of back-to-back play, swings the odds toward the Cavaliers. I'm backing the Cleveland Cavaliers -2. Remember, in the unpredictable arena of sports, always expect the unexpected. Bet wisely. The next prediction is for the match between the Chicago Bulls and Miami Heat. In tonight's showdown at the Kaseya Center in sunny Miami, the hardwood heats up with the Chicago Bulls charging against the Miami Heat. The Heat, flaunting a solid 14-11 record, are ready to blaze the trail against the Bulls, who are currently in a bit of a tangle with a 10-16 standing. Miami boasts a 6-5 record on their turf, hinting at a home court edge, while the Bulls have been finding the going tough away from home, sitting at a 3-9 on the road. Offensively, it's neck and neck. The Heat cook up an average of 112.8 points per game, putting them in the 20th spot league-wide, with the Bulls tailing closely, netting an average of 109.7 points per game, ranking 26th. This tees up a potentially tight scoring duel. Defensively, the Heat have the upper hand, conceding 111.8 points per game, 9th in the league, while the Bulls are giving up 113.5 points per game, ranked 13th. The rebounding game is equally matched, with the Bulls grabbing 42.8 rebounds per game, 22nd in the league, just ahead of the Heat at 41.1, 26th in the league. The three-pointers' accuracy could be the game-changer tonight. Looking back at their recent face-offs, especially in Miami, the Bulls have shown they can spring a surprise, even on the road, as seen in their last triumph over the Heat. But injuries could play a huge role. The Bulls are missing key players like Zach LaVine and possibly Alex Caruso, while the Heat are down Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo. The odds makers have the Heat as 4.5-point favorites, with the total points predicted to be around 217. Both squads have had varied luck with the spread this season. When facing a spread of 4.5 or more, the Bulls have fared better as underdogs than the Heat as favorites. Weighing the stats, team vibes, recent form, and injury updates, the scales tip in favor of the Miami Heat, not just clinching a victory, but also beating the -4.5-point spread. The Heat's defensive clout, coupled with the Bulls' road woes and injury setbacks, position them as the probable winners. Expect a high-scoring affair, likely exceeding the over-under mark. My money's on the Miami Heat -4.5. The next prediction is for the match between Indiana Pacers and Minnesota Timberwolves. The Timberwolves are soaring into this matchup on a streak of dynamic performances. Their defensive game has been nothing short of spectacular, leading the league with an opponent field goal percentage of just 43.2% and showing exceptional skill in clamping down on third-quarter scores. This defensive mastery, along with their recent triumph over the Mavericks, where they flipped the script in the second half, marks them as a team to be reckoned with. Conversely, the Pacers have been lighting up the scoreboard, sitting atop the league with an astounding average of 128.2 points per game and leading the pack in assists. Their offensive firepower is formidable, even though they've hit a bit of a rough patch lately. But as they face off against the Timberwolves, they might be playing with a depleted roster, missing vital players like Jalen Smith and Tyrese Halliburton, which could prove to be a significant setback. Focusing on key players, Tyrese Halliburton is pegged to be the Pacers' standout performer, though his appearance is up in the air due to injury worries. On the Timberwolves side, Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns are expected to deliver impactful performances, with Towns' dual-threat capability potentially being a pivotal factor. The Timberwolves have the upper hand with extra downtime since their last outing, while the Pacers could be grappling with the aftershock of their recent loss and the quick turnaround. Minnesota's robust form, combined with the Pacers' recent hiccups and possible injury issues, swings the momentum in Minnesota's favor. In the betting arena, the Timberwolves are the preferred choice. They're tipped with a point spread of -7.5, and the game's total points are predicted to hover around 245.5, suggesting an expectation of a high-scoring affair, likely dominated by Minnesota. However, despite the Timberwolves being the favorites, my forecast is more aligned with a total score that falls short of the 246-point mark. Taking into account both teams' current form and the Pacers' scoring ability, a high-scoring game seems likely, but the Timberwolves' stout defense could keep the total tally below 246. In summary, the smart wager would be on the Minnesota Timberwolves clinching the win. Their defensive solidity, combined with the Pacers' injury concerns and lesser rest time, tips the balance in their favor. However, I anticipate the total points to dip below the 246-point threshold, given the defensive strengths of the Timberwolves. My bet is on the total points not surpassing 246. The next prediction is for the match between Brooklyn Nets and Golden State Warriors. In the high-stakes showdown at Chase Center, the Brooklyn Nets and the Golden State Warriors are gearing up for a hardwood battle of epic proportions. Both squads are hitting the court with their distinctive play styles and challenges, promising a spectacle for hoop enthusiasts. Golden State, sporting a 10-14 record, steps in as the slight favorites, leading by 3.5 points. Their performance has been solid, particularly at home, riding a 4-game hot streak in their own arena. The Warriors' offensive firepower is evident, dropping an average of 115.5 points per game, while their rebound game is strong, snagging second place in the league with 47.3 boards per game. Their defense, though, reveals some cracks, especially in blocking, where they're ranked 28th. Steph Curry's sharpshooting with a 93.8% free throw rate, alongside Klay Thompson's 89.7%, bolsters their scoring threat. The Brooklyn Nets counter with a 13-11 record. They've excelled at beating the odds with an impressive 17-6-1 record against the spread this season. Known for their grit, especially as underdogs, the Nets top the league with 47.7 rebounds per game, a vital stat against the Warriors. Yet their turnover rate is a weak spot, as they languish at 30th for forcing opponent turnovers, averaging 11.5 per game. Spencer Dinwiddie with 6.5 assists per game, and Cameron Thomas's bench scoring add depth to the Nets' arsenal. In recent faceoffs, the Nets have dominated, clinching 5 out of their last 7 games against the Warriors. This could give Brooklyn a mental edge in this clash. Weighing these elements, the Brooklyn Nets seem poised to beat the 4-point spread. Their solid record against the spread, coupled with the Warriors' recent hiccups and past matchups, tip the scales in favor of a potential Nets victory. It's essential to factor in team dynamics and the latest forms when making such forecasts. For spectators and punters, this matchup is set to be a chess match of strategic maneuvers and individual flair. The real game changer will be how each team utilizes its strengths and counters its weaknesses in this nail-biter. So, the final word? My money goes to the Brooklyn Nets to cover the 4-point spread. The next prediction is for the match between the Oklahoma City Thunder and Denver Nuggets. Tonight's basketball face-off promises a thrilling encounter as the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets lock horns at Denver's Ball Arena. It's a dynamic tussle of contrasting playstyles, sparking interest among both betting enthusiasts and basketball fans. The Denver squad, boasting a 17-9 record, is the crowd's pick. Odds are leaning towards the Nuggets, with a 5.5-point advantage, coupled with a total score prediction of 236.5. Denver's home court prowess, significantly amplified by Nikola Jokic's stellar performance, is undeniable. Jokic, with an impressive 27.2 points, 12.7 rebounds, and 9.4 assists per game, is Denver's ace. His versatility and game dominance are pivotal in this encounter. The Nuggets have consistently outplayed rivals, averaging 114.6 points per game while conceding 110.5 points. Their track record against the spread is 11-15, surpassing the total score in 10 of their 24 season games. Conversely, the Oklahoma City Thunder, holding a 15-8 record, are a force to reckon with in offensive play. Spearheaded by Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, with remarkable season averages of 30.4 points, 5.5 rebounds, and 6.2 assists, the Thunder have consistently outmatched opponents by an average of 7 points per game. They've successfully covered the spread in 14 out of 21 instances this year, with 11 games exceeding the predicted total. OKC's recent form is steady, maintaining a 3-2 win ratio in their last 5 games. Their formidable 7-2 away game record against the spread showcases their tenacity in hostile territories. Historically, the Nuggets have dominated the Thunder in recent encounters, clinching 7 out of the last 10 games. However, OKC's current momentum and their impressive away game spread record hint at a potential upset against Denver. Both teams have key players whose presence is crucial. For the Nuggets, Jokic, Jamal Murray, Aaron Gordon, and Michael Porter Jr. are significant, just as Gilgeous-Alexander and Chet Holmgren are for the Thunder. Keeping an eye on the injury report as the game approaches will offer deeper insights into each team's lineup. Weighing all these elements, the match is set to be a close battle. Despite the Nuggets' home advantage and strong Ball Arena record, OKC's recent form and resilience in away matches are not to be underestimated. The Nuggets might have the upper hand with their home game strength and Jokic's impact, but OKC's offensive might, especially Gilgeous-Alexander's, could tip the scales. The prediction leans towards a Nuggets victory, but the Thunder are poised to challenge the spread, given their away game excellence and recent performance. The total score could swing either way, but considering both teams' scoring capabilities, a high-scoring affair seems probable. In summary, while the Nuggets hold certain advantages, especially with their home record and Jokic's influence, the Thunder, fueled by Gilgeous-Alexander's scoring finesse, are geared up for a robust challenge. It's expected to be a nail-biter, but my money's on the Oklahoma City Thunder, defying the 6-point spread. The next prediction is for the match between Dallas Mavericks and Portland Trail Blazers. The Dallas Mavericks are blazing into this matchup with some formidable firepower. Their ace, Luka Doncic, isn't just a scoring dynamo, but a maestro in orchestrating plays. He's racking up a stellar 32.3 points, grabbing 8.1 boards, and dishing out 9.1 assists per game, a performance that screams MVP material. Alongside him, Kyrie Irving, another headline act for the Mavs, is dropping 23 points per game. But their offensive might doesn't stop there. Tim Hardaway Jr. is chipping in with a solid 17.3 points per game. The Mavericks shine in their scoring efficiency, with both Doncic and Irving shooting over 47% from the field and beyond 38% from downtown. This pinpoint accuracy, especially from three-point land, is crucial in neck-and-neck games. On the other side of the court, the Portland Trail Blazers are grappling with some hurdles this season. Sporting a 6-17 record, they're languishing at the bottom rungs of the Western Conference. They're averaging 106.8 points per game, one of the league's lowest. Their stats in rebounds and assists are also on the lower end, ranking 27th and 30th. However, their defense is a notch better, conceding an average of 113.7 points per game. When it comes to head-to-head matchups, the Blazers traditionally have had the upper hand over the Mavericks, but this season's dynamics hint at a different narrative. The Mavs' offensive firepower, spearheaded by Doncic's all-around brilliance, looks too overwhelming for the beleaguered Blazers. Injury reports also play a vital role. The Mavericks are missing Kyrie Irving, Maxi Kleber, and Josh Green, with Seth Curry's participation uncertain. The Trailblazers have Robert Williams sidelined. In essence, the Mavericks, boasting a high-octane offense and stellar form from key players, seem set to clinch this one. Their superior offensive efficiency, particularly in shooting, gives them a significant advantage over the Trailblazers. While Dallas's defense might not be top tier, their scoring prowess often compensates. This game poses a tough challenge for the Dallas Mavericks, but I'm betting on Luka Doncic to weave his magic again, leading them not just to victory, but also to cover the 5-point spread. This is a risky bet, though. The return of Brogdon, Grant, and Ayton to the Blazers lineup could spring some surprises. My call is for the Dallas Mavericks to win and cover the 5-point spread. The next prediction is for the match between the Utah Jazz and Sacramento Kings. The Sacramento Kings, with their impressive 14-9 tally, are tearing up the court in their home turf, showing off an 8-3 record in their kingdom. Contrastingly, the Utah Jazz seem to be fumbling this season with a 9-16 overall record and a worrisome 2-11 scoreline when playing away. This stark difference in their court performance is key to predicting who will dominate in the upcoming game. Heading into this clash, Sacramento stands out as the clear favorite, dominating the betting line with a 10-point advantage. Their performance against the betting line this season is noteworthy, holding a 13-10 record, while Utah trails slightly at 13-12-0. Utah's struggle is evident, having clinched a win against the betting line only once this season when tagged as a 10-point underdog or more. These numbers suggest Sacramento might just slam dunk their way to covering the betting line. When it comes to offensive might, the Kings have the edge with an average score of 116.78, towering over the Jazz's 112.0 points per game. Sacramento also leads in shooting efficiency, with a field goal percentage of 46.54% and a 36.26% success rate from beyond the arc, outshining Utah's 44.98% in field goals and 34.96% in three-pointers. Rebounds are a closer match, with Utah slightly ahead, pulling down 46.7 rebounds per game compared to Sacramento's 43.83. The injury list is also a game-changer. The Jazz are reeling from injuries to key players like Jordan Clarkson, who averages 16.6 points per game, and John Collins with 14.5 points per game, potentially disrupting their offensive rhythm. The Kings might face a hurdle too if De'Aaron Fox, contributing an impressive 30.1 points per game, misses out or plays limited minutes. Also worth considering is the recent face-off history and Utah's track record at the Golden One Center. The Jazz have a streak of covering the spread in their last 6 Sacramento showdowns, a factor that could sway betting strategies. Putting all these elements together, the scales tip in favor of the Sacramento Kings clinching a win. Their dominant home record, superior offensive stats, and the Jazz's struggles on the road, combined with the injury situation, position Sacramento for the upper hand. However, Utah's knack for covering the spread in recent Sacramento meets adds intrigue to the betting landscape. In summary, the bet is on the Sacramento Kings to triumph and surpass the minus 9.5 point spread, propelled by their home court prowess, scoring supremacy, and field goal accuracy. The Jazz's recent away game slump and injury troubles further lean the odds toward Sacramento. The last prediction for today is for the matchup between the New York Knicks and Los Angeles Clippers. As the basketball fever soars, the showdown between the New York Knicks and the Los Angeles Clippers at Crypto.com Arena is turning heads. The Knicks, boasting a respectable 13-10 record, are gearing up to clash with the 14-10 Clippers. It's a high-stakes interconference battle that promises excitement. Lately, the Knicks' gameplay has been a roller coaster of highs and lows. They've pocketed 5 wins in their last 8 matches, showing they're capable of stepping up their game. This was evident in their stunning 139-122 victory over the Suns on the road. Jalen Brunson was the star of that game, dropping an incredible 50 points. Season-wise, the Knicks have been steady, averaging 133.1 points per game, shooting 45.6% from the field and sinking 37.7% of their three-pointers. Their rebounding average is a solid 45.8 per game, coupled with a tight defense ranked 6th in the league, allowing only 110.0 points per game. On the flip side, the Clippers are blazing through, with 11 wins in their last 15 games. Their home court prowess makes them a force to be reckoned with. Dominating at the Crypto.com arena, the Clippers are tipped as the favorites in this face-off. Historically, the Knicks have struggled on the Clippers' turf, especially when playing back-to-back games. Yet, they've managed to beat the odds in 4 of their last 5 road games against Western Conference teams under similar circumstances. This indicates the Knicks could still put up a strong fight against the spread, despite the challenges. Injury updates are pivotal. The Clippers are missing Mason Plumlee, and Paul George's participation is uncertain. The Knicks are without Mitchell Robinson. Weighing both teams' recent form and past encounters, particularly at the Crypto.com arena, the Clippers seem to hold the advantage. Their impressive home record and consistent performance give them a leg up over the Knicks. However, the Knicks' knack for covering the spread in tough away games cannot be overlooked. In sum, the Clippers, with their solid home form, appear poised to take the win. But the Knicks' track record of beating the spread in tough road games is a factor to consider. My money's on the Los Angeles Clippers to triumph and cover the 5-point spread. All right, hoopheads, that's the buzzer for today's predictions. Big thanks for rolling with us. If you're vibing with our picks, slam that subscribe button and get on board. Catch you on the court tomorrow. Peace.